Today I'll share my playbook on how I built $1 million SaaS and got thousands of signups for my SaaS using free tools, and how you can do the same. And the cool thing is that you don't have to have a big personal brand, and this is even easier to do now with generative AI. So let's jump into it. My name is Jonathan. I co-founded the company Univid, a SaaS to create engaging webinars and do it blazingly fast. So how we have used free tools is that we have built a strong core, a super fast and onboarding experience that delivers clear aha moments and kind of value up front. But then we marketed this through free tools. So we essentially created free tools using AI as a kind of lever to do this really fast as well. That kind of surrounds this core SaaS offering. What this means is that you can then offer these kind of PLG hooks and then market them on, for example, YouTube, ChatGPT, Google, and Reddit. So people will love free stuff, and it will be tied directly into your SaaS offering, making it super easy and to transition into your SaaS product from all of these places. So today we'll talk about, first of all, what a free tool is. And I'll give you the 5-step checklist that I've used to build winning free tools that get signups for my SaaS. I'll also show the 4 types of free tools you can build and that have been really efficient for me. These are examples that you can copy, and I'll get into how you actually get customers using free tools. First of all, a free tool is something that helps your ideal customer solve a problem or a challenge they face and that is important to them. You should offer this for free, as it becomes a lead magnet for your real product offering, so meaning your SaaS product probably. For example, Ahrefs does this with free keyword generators or backlink checkers that you can use. You can get value out of them even though you're not an Ahrefs user. But then if you try them out, you also have easy ways to kind of enter the Ahrefs ecosystem and try out their product and paid offering. So why do free tools work? Well, they work because they provide big value and you provide it upfront. People love free stuff, and you will give it to them. And an example of this is a LinkedIn preview tool I've built where you can preview your LinkedIn posts. This is something I've used myself, dog-feeded it in that sense, and therefore it will also be something other content creators and people in SaaS and similar that want to post regularly on LinkedIn will like. In this case, I'm just pushing for a CTA, like connect with me or follow me on LinkedIn. That was my end goal with this tool, and it's been really successful. And this is actually one of the steps in the checklist, to dog feed, to actually use the tool you have yourself. So let's go into the checklist here. Well, the first one is that your free tool should have one feature. This is really important. It should be a niched offering that is really simple to understand and grasp when you search for it, for example, and look for it. It should be something that is quickly to build, will help out with one important problem or challenge. And if you need more, well, then you can enter the paid offering of your SaaS. Well, you should also solve a problem for the right person, meaning your ideal customer most likely. Find out who this is by characterizing it based on, for example, communities they like to join, terms they use, challenges, roles, pains they have, etc. You should also make it free of charge. For example, the LinkedIn post previewer I showed you, that is free to use, and that is something people like. So make it free. It also should be easy to find. So ideally you would want to SEO optimize your tool. I'll show you briefly how you can do that in a minute, and tag your content to make it SEO friendly and show up on Google or in forums, etc. You should also have a smooth growth hook into your SaaS product. For example, in the webinar CTA generator that I created as a free tool, we also have a next step where you can create a webinar with this CTA. People often forget this step, or they don't have this kind of product to kind of marketing connection. So you often end up with tools that are just a calculator somewhere, and then you can't really enter the product or just have a generic CTA, like try their product for free. Well, make it really tailored to the free tool, and also make it into a kind of a smooth experience. Just transitioning makes you stand out from competition. Speaking of standing out from competition, your tool should be valuable for your ideal customer. So make it valuable for them and make sure that the UX is superior to everything that's out there. People will share it if they find it useful, and that will create this kind of nice word of mouth or viral loop that will help you out a lot in terms of getting that top funnel for your SaaS offering. And to jump into the 4 examples that you can copy in terms of free tools that you can build. Well, you can build calculators. These are awesome. For example, this fire calculator talking about when you can reach financial independence. So this is really helpful for a certain ideal user, and it can be a great way to kind of calculate ROI of using your product versus other stuff or similar. Also, idea generators are really nice. Help your customer get good ideas. For example, it could be generate a webinar title or a webinar CTA, like in this example, where you can just generate a title based on your website or the link that you want to link to. Use the data, the proprietary data you have in your SaaS or product, help the customer compare against the best in the industry. This could be, for example, when should you host a webinar or when should you post a LinkedIn post, and that's something you have. It's not something all the individual kind of users have in their end. And it's also something competitors cannot easily copy. So if you have a lot of users, this can be a great way to get upper hand. So help people check things off. You could have different ways to do this. You could offer it as a downloadable PDF, but this can be a great way to kind of help people manage their time and stay organized. And how can you then market your free tools to actually get customers into your funnel? Well, the company blog is an obvious place to put things. For example, like this webinar title generator, I've just plugged that into an article talking about great webinar titles. Well, then it's a native place where people will already thinking about these things, and then they can easily just generate their own title automatically with one click, and then they can create a webinar with this title, of course. Speaking of smooth growth loops into your product. And in this case, I actually created a component for this in our custom code. So we can just plug a CTA tool and then the title of the tool. So it's really simple for any kind of content person in our headless CMS to just enter the tag for the tool and plug it in all the blog posts, help center, etc. Also, organic SEO and AI search nowadays is a great way to gain traction for your tool. Here you could essentially just market your tool by making it searchable and findable on both Google and GPT and similar. So for the LinkedIn post preview tool, you could essentially put an FAQ on the bottom with relevant search terms that the ideal user for such a tool would probably search for. For example, can you preview on a post on LinkedIn? Well, then you will show up there with a relevant answer to that question in generative search and Google, and your tool will be featured there. You could also dog feed, and as I mentioned, use your tool yourself. Just like I used the LinkedIn preview generator, make sure that you use your tool and you will find the kind of issues with it. Is it really valuable or just a nice to have? Make it really polish it and make it really nice. Also, Reddit is a great way to market your tools. Communities are so powerful, so much so that I even created both a viral post about this, gaining almost 400k views at this point on Reddit about this. And I also wrote a book that is soon to be launched on this topic. And feel free to check it out at growthhackingreddit.com. Here I talk about how you can build $1 million SaaS or startup from using Reddit, but also how you can market things like lead magnets and free tools using communities and Reddit in a very efficient way to get thousands of leads. And this is especially powerful if you don't already have a big personal brand or following, like you would typically see a lot of creators like Adam Robinson or Mark Liu have already on X or LinkedIn. Well, then it's really easy to do these things, but if you don't have that, Reddit can be a great way to gain traction for these tools or SaaS products. Also, speaking of where we are right now, but YouTube is a great way to gain traction both in generative search and Google, which I'll show you in a bit, but also just plug your free tool in a context where it makes sense. I should probably have created a free tool for this video, I realize now, but to give you an example, how to host a webinar in 2025 is a video where I'll share my 10 steps on how to create an awesome webinar to get customers, and I show a bit how to do this in our product Univid, of course. But in the video, I also plug a really valuable free tool, which is the webinar title generator. And that just creates additional value for the viewer. They feel like you're a thought leader that knows your stuff, but also provide free value to them. They can directly go in and kind of use. And the cool thing is that your videos will also show up very high on Google search as well as in AI search. Whether you're searching in Gemini, ChatGPT or Perplexity or similar. So definitely some awesome stuff there. And with that being said, that was all for me today. I mean, feel free to check out my video on how to growth hack on Reddit and build $1 million SaaS using Reddit. It's a great one. And feel free to subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. Have some awesome value bombs coming up. And feel free to also connect with me as a SaaS founder or fellow growth hacker on LinkedIn. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Ciao.